monthly activities or for your home or for buying something else. You all would have done it. So what is budgeting? Budgeting is costing or pricing for our research proposal and what are the requirements we need to have. So budget is a quantitative expression of a financial plan for future expenses of the proposed study in a given period of time, right? So it demonstrates the required cost of the proposed budget. A prediction of expenses serves as a plan for funders on how a research team will operate this or implement this study, and important for accountability. So here, what constitutes a research project budget is research budget plan covering both direct cost and indirect cost. Direct cost means manpower or the personnel being recruited in the study. Recurring expenses, recurring means repeated expenses. Repeatedly for buying reagents or chemicals or consumables or test kits, that will be recurring. And then non-recurring expenses, that is one-time purchase of any of the software or equipments or instruments, comes under non-recurring. And finally, travel expenses with regard to sample collection or data collection, going to the field, or whether you are as a researcher going to present any of the meetings or conferences as part of the research, the related results come out, you are going to present in a conference, like that also can be used. That traveling expense also can be used. We also have another charge, whatever result generated in the study, we are going to publish it in a peer-reviewed journal, which will also have, if you are selecting for open access, they will have their own article publication charge, APC. You can also meet that. So that also you can include in your proposal itself. So direct cost, that is personnel, manpower, recruitment, salaries for the personnel involved, occurring, the same thing is given in this slide. Then comes the direct cost, I just mentioned, the recurring and non-recurring. Travel expenses. Indirect costs. What is indirect cost? So it's also called as overhead charges, because in our institution we are going to get some funding from the funding agency to implement one proposal by a researcher. There may be many researchers in the same organization having different funds, getting funds from different agencies and implementing, utilizing the common infrastructure in the institution level. So to meet that expenses, which cannot be directly related to the project, whereas common maintenance of the establishment section or the account section or the amount of money being given from the funding agency to our institution, which is kept in the bank. So every time you have to get the bill passed, the person will be, the account section people will to go, get the money drawn, come back. So the expenses utilized for the person to travel from our institution to the bank or to any other, sending some of the reports through post. So the whatever expenses we have, the courier charge of sending a post, or the communication charge which involves for internet usage, everything can be covered under overhead charges, and which cannot be directly attributed to specific expenses of project, but it is used for the institutional level for managing the number of projects, right? Utilizing existing institutional facilities, and finally other miscellaneous or minimum expenses charges related to that study. So all the PAs meet together, they may discuss, they may have a brainstorming session, or they may interim reports for every 3 months once. They may meet together and check what is the project, how the project is proposing, how the project is progressing, whether it is going in a correct direction or not. The manpower what we recruited in the project mode, if he left, if he or she left, we have to recruit again. There will be some cost involved in interviewing, conducting interviewing, then giving an appointment order for the person, and even making a training for that person if he is joining in between. So all those things will be covered under institutional overhead charges. So research budget justification. For any item wise budget what we are proposing, be it as direct cost or indirect cost, be it is for equipment or for reagents or consumables, our proposal should have everything listed in the methodology section in the study design itself. Initially we quoted for diagnostic kit of pregnancy, we used pregnancy card test. So it is cost around 80 rupees. We cannot put 800 rupees for that pregnancy card test and give a justification that we want to take a number one, it's branded company somewhere available in abroad. We want to import that kit and we want to test like that. We cannot mention it. So that is not justifiable. So whatever approximate cost utilized for that reagents or consumables or test kits or equipment list also, the total budget is 1 crore means you cannot cross 15 to 20 lakhs in that for instrument head. You cannot purchase an 80 lakhs instrument and offer give a proposal of 1 crore budget. So it should be properly justifiable. And similarly, some of the institutions have a central instrumentation facility. Microbiology has that PCR machine. I want to get it like that. Microbiology, virology or molecular biology or pathology section cannot ask because they already have an instrument which can be properly used. So you can get the consumables for that instrument instead of buying another new set of instrument and use only for the study. After that, it will be kept idle. It may not be like that. So they will even check for the experience and expertise of the person who is submitting a proposal. They will look into the institutional capabilities of that institution. Then only they will give approval. They will not immediately approve everything like that. And similarly, the person should have basic knowledge or previous experience and related publications if he has, that will be given weightage during review process. So this budget related things in general. And similarly, if you have a single centric study, you have making one study within your institution or within your hospital, it is single center. If you have multiple centric study, multiple different study sites, you are going to have recruitment from different sites, then individual multiple site, each site should have a stipulated justifiable budget and you should give the proper justification. Finally, it should be genuine and honest from our side. General tips: list what is essential and would like to have add value to the study. Carefully review the funding agency's instruction. Classify listed items into direct or indirect costs, whichever it is applicable. Under that heading, you have to mention it. Then break down the budget into item wise as well as year wise. If it is single center, for your center. If it is multi-centric, center wise, item wise and year wise budget. First year this much, second year this much, total this much. Like that you have to give. There should not be any discrepancies. So better you review it internally with your mentors or with your seniors or with your colleagues and then check it and then finally submit it to the budget section. Another one, it is important to understand funding agencies' expectations. So they may allot a funding cap of 1 crore means you cannot give till 1 crore. You have to give a proper justification for your methodology, for your requirement you should give. Not that since they are giving, we cannot write for 1 crore. You can have to genuinely, if you give, they will give. If it is more than that also, if it is justifiable, they will even allocate more funds. So too high or too low with respect to your research proposal are suspicious, flag raising by the reviewers and chances of losing it. So be honest and be justifiable. So I end this session here. If you have any queries, open for discussion.